One who looks around him is intelligent. One who looks within him is wise. By Metsona. We live in a world of thought, not reality. Sydney Banks once said, thought is not reality. Yet, it is through thought that our realities are created. Each of us lives through our own perception of the world, which are vastly different from the person right next to us. An example of this is that you could be sitting in a coffee shop having a quarter life existential crisis, completely stressed out of your mind about how you have no idea what you are doing with your life when it seems like everyone else has their togethers, while the person next to you is happily enjoying their freshly brewed drink while peacefully people watching. You both are in the same exact coffee shop, smelling the same aroma, surrounded by the same strangers, but how the world looks to both of you couldn't be more different. Many of us go through the exact same events or are in the same location at the same time, yet are having completely different experiences of the world. Here is another example of how we live in a world of thought and not reality. If we walk up to 100 different people and ask each of them what money means to them, how many different answers do you think you will get? Close to 100 different answers? Money is technically the same thing, but it means something different to each person. Money could mean time, freedom, opportunity, security, peace of mind, or it could mean evil, greed, and the reason why people commit crimes. For now, I'm not going to get into which one is right or wrong. Hint is there is no right or wrong answer, but that's for a different chapter. Another illustration of this concept is as follows. If you survey 100 different people and ask each of them what they think of our current president, how many different answers do you think you will get? Even though it is the same exact person we are talking about, we will get 100 different answers because most people live in their own thoughts and perception of the world. The meaning we give an event is what determines how we ultimately feel about it. That meaning or thinking is the filter through which we see life from then on. Because of this, we live through a perception of reality, not in reality itself. Reality is that the event happened with no meaning, thinking, or interpretation of it. Any meaning or thinking we give the event is on us, and that is how our perception of reality is created. This is how our experience of life is created from the inside out. It is not about the events that happen in our lives, but our interpretation to them, which causes us to feel good or bad about something. This is how people in third world countries can be happier than people in first world countries, and people in first world countries can be more miserable than people in third world countries. Our feelings do not come from external events but from our own thinking about the events. Therefore, we can only ever feel what we are thinking. Let's hypothetically say that you are really hating your job and it causes you an enormous amount of stress, anxiety, and frustration. It pains you to even set foot in the building where you work, and just thinking about your job makes you furious. When you are thinking about your job, you are just sitting there on a sofa with your family watching a TV show together. but you are fuming at the thought of your job. Everyone else is having a good time except you. In this movement, everyone else in your family is having a different experience of life than you, even though the same event is happening. Just the thought of work created a whole different perception of reality, even though you are not physically at work. If it were true that external events cause us to feel the way we feel inside, then you should be a happy camper in your living room, watching a funny TV show with your family every single time you do this activity, but that's not the case. Now, you may be saying that you are only feeling this way because an external event, your job, is causing you to feel stressed and anxious. To that, I will ask the question: is it absolutely true that every single person feels this exact same way about the job they are working in? Two different people can be doing the exact same job but will have completely different experiences of that job. It can be the most amazing experience and a dream job for one person, but be another person's worst nightmare and living hell. The only difference between one person and the other is how they think about their job, which determines how they ultimately feel about it. Now let's go back to the original scenario of you hypothetically hating your job. Remember how much stress, anxiety, and frustration it causes you when you think about it. Let's do a quick thought experiment about that by answering the question below. Who would you be without that thought that you hated your job? Take 1 minute to see what comes up for you and don't move on until you do that. If you don't overthink it and truly let the answer surface from within you, without that thought, you will most likely feel and be happy, peaceful, free, and light. We will continue it in next part.